So I don't know if you guys caught one of the latest episodes of Joe Rogan. It was episode 2313 with Jillian Michaels. It was a great episode. He had a lot of really interesting takes in this one. And they brought up social media twice in the episode. And I really think he nailed it with his take on social media. The first clip I'm going to show you is where he's talking about people arguing online and social media and how to handle that. So check this out.
Because they're trying to silence you and because they want to win. And this is a real problem with human beings when it comes to ideas, is that like if I believe something and you believe something differently, I don't want to listen to you. I want to beat you, right? I want to overwhelm you with talk. I want to Piers Morgan you into submission. I want to yell at you, not Piers the human, but the show.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
You want to yell at them and you want to win. You want to dunk on them. And this is why I don't engage with people on social media. I just think it's the worst way to communicate. And when I see people doing it, I genuinely feel bad for them because I think they're mentally ill. When people are dunking on people constantly on social media, I'm like, well, that's a sign of mental illness. Like there's something wrong with you. You don't realize that yet? Like this shit's been around for 20 years now, and you're still engaging in that kind of behavior on social media? It's stupid.
It gets clicks. That's what I think it is.
That's also
think
part of the problem. Is I get enough attention.
Yeah,
I get enough attention, so I don't need to like reach out and try to get more. Which is like, but by the way, that's what you're supposed to do when you get a lot of attention. You're supposed to rise above. With great power, great responsibility. You're supposed to try to be nicer, which is I try. That's like one of my core tenets in life: be as nice as possible. And here's a shocker: I find people are nice to me almost entirely. Like very rarely are people not nice to me because I'm nice to everybody. So if you're nice to everybody, guess what? People are nice to you. And even people I disagree with, fundamentally.
But you're listening to them though. That's exactly what.
So that's interesting. So again, he is rising above all the arguing online and he's just taking a step out of there and just not dealing with it and being nicer to people, even people who disagree with him. Novel idea, huh? This really resonated with me. And I just like that he is basically saying, I'm not going to argue with people online. You're insane if you do that. My only caveat to that is I will say there are some people who, I don't think you should argue with anyone online, but there are some people who maybe they are mentally ill, maybe they aren't, but they are different people online versus in real life. Have you guys experienced this where somebody online is a nutcase, but then in real life, they're totally normal. They're really nice and kind. So I don't know if you're just seeing a deep side of their personality or what, but great advice to not argue on social media. And then he takes it a step further in the second clip. Check it out.
I sometimes see evil winning out more often than not.
Well, because that's what's in the news, and that's also what's in your algorithm, and that's why you have to stay off social media. Yeah. I feel so much better. I've been off social media like almost entirely for like a few, I don't know, like really weaned off about 2 weeks ago. I really followed my wife's footsteps because like she just got off and she's like, I feel so much better. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And so I'm like, let me try it. And so I tried it for a day. I was like, wow, I feel so much better after this day. And then I tried a couple days and then I'm like, oh, it's real. Like there's, Sugar Sean O'Malley, UFC champion, he goes, I get a low level anxiety when I'm scrolling through social media. I'm like, right, what is that? Like, what is that? But that shit's real. It's also, you realize, like, you're just distracting yourself with this stupidity.
But
when you don't.
Freaking sure.
But when you don't do that, your mind feels better. It really does feel better. So I will occasionally, like if I'm on the toilet, I'll like scroll through Twitter, find out what is everybody mad at, and then I'll put it away, and then sometimes I'll go days without looking at it at all. And then sometimes like, hey, like I got a text the other day, like, hey man, are you okay? I'm like, well, what? And they're like, oh, people are mad at you on Twitter. I'm like, okay, that's not the real world, bro. I don't even know what they're mad at. Like, no, don't reach. Like a friend of mine sent me something that people are, I go, don't send me that shit. I'm not looking at it. I don't care.
Aren't you immune to that by now though? You have been forged in fire, for fuck's sake. What are they going to say to you at this point that you're even going to care about?
Well, the thing is, it's not me, it's them. They think that I'm upset at this thing because they would be upset at this thing because they don't get attacked, right? So, like, my sister used to send me things like that. I'm like, don't send me that shit. I don't care. Like,
I know.
So I think that is even a bolder statement. Not only am I not going to argue with people online, I'm not even going to be online, right, with social media. He's taking a break. for several days at a time sometimes. I know for some of us it's hard to do. For me, I kind of have to do social media for my job when I'm reaching out for podcast guests and things. I have to find a lot of them on social media. I have to post clips on social media. So I'm constantly having to use it. But maybe setting some limits and just, once or twice a day or 3 times or whatever, and just saving it all up and just boom, boom, boom. Okay, let me send these 5 messages, bang, 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 and just getting it done, because I think that's really interesting that he finds himself happier with less social media. And I've heard that from several people, and a lot of the experts agree as well. So something to think about. I look up to Joe Rogan as a podcaster. He's the #1 podcast, and he has a lot of guests on, a lot of experts, and he has a lot of knowledge. So I take his opinion very seriously, and I think he had a great take with this. Let me know what you think in the comments.